Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Burden of Command. We left off our last episode, which was all story and no gun, and we'll be picking up this episode, which will probably be all gun and no story, or limited story. We are in the middle of the beginning of the Italian campaign. We've fought through North Africa, where we didn't lose too many men or officers. Actually, I don't think we lost any officers and only like a few men. Then we fought in Sicily, where we lost 2 officers and also lost a fair number of men. And now we're beginning Italy, where I'm sure things will get easier. That being said, our troops have gained some experience, and some of our squads are pretty experienced, as you can tell by the stars here, but some of them are greener due to replacements. This battle, I think there's going to be some German armor showing up, which might be a problem. We should be getting some bazooka teams next turn, and our goal is to move forward, take this ridge, and then, I believe, hold against a counterattack. The major victory here is to keep casualties below 10%, and then the major victory from an objective perspective is to take, I guess kills or enemy kills between 3 and what 3 and 10 100,000. Okay, that's got to be some sort of that's a minor. Okay, so anyway, capture at least 3 objectives and hold them. So we'll see how that plays out. Now, I will say also, I had been hoping to post a video today for Field of Glory, which had a DLC come out about India, but I had some stuff come up personally, which delayed that, so we will be posting that probably tomorrow. That'll be a sponsored video about the new Field of Glory Field of Glory Kingdoms DLC. But without further ado, let's jump back into this Burden of Command turn-based war game and see what we're going to do here. So we only have the 2 machine gun squads. Our mortar squads are off map for this particular fight. I don't see that I can hit anyone with the MGs yet. So does it make sense? Well, I guess we could do this. We could do recon by fire. We could shoot here and just see if we can detect any enemy troops. Doesn't look like we can detect anything over this way.
Don't let up.
Okay, so I don't know if I get experience for that, but I'd rather, maybe there's a chance I can uncover where there's some enemy troops and not have to worry about walking into an ambush. I don't know, just a thought. Just shooting at places which seem like maybe it's a likely place. Okay, so that'll do it for Stern's turn. I guess there are some German units which get to go here because we're waiting for them to finish their round. It's only an 8-turn battle, too. Bazooka teams will arrive next turn down here. Dearborn's squad. Can I? Is this only for me? Because it'd be cool if I could do an infiltrate for some of my soldiers here. But it looks like it's only for my character. Okay. So we'll move Dearborn's men forward. I think they just got mad because they were tired. These guys are all kind of going up and down ridges, which is causing, understandably it's causing some fatigue. All right, let's move these boys up to the top of this ridge. Okay. Move these guys downhill. I don't know what the red star indicates. I don't like that they're going to be in the open, so I creeped them. We're going to keep them. Well, Can you press? Let's press these boys. I don't like moving these guys in the open on this road, but I'll do it. A runner. Private Fletcher races over. Grant intercepts the man before he careens into you. Hold up, Private, Grant demands. Tracks, treads, Private Fletcher blurts out, pointing vaguely north. We found him, fresh just now. Okay. Just give me a moment, Fletcher says, and he draws a full breath. There's a set of tread tracks in the road. Recent. Okay. Any idea how wide they were? A foot, foot and a half. Okay. So they could be half tracks.
Why don't we get MGs with every
So that's what
squad?
we're detecting here is these treads. All right, so Dearborn's boys are done. My leader back here is a little bit removed from the men. I don't know if there's like a... Oh, shit. Well, we saw something over here that looked like it was a vehicle. I don't think I have an artillery on. We have no artillery on the map. There's no sense really in me holding too far back. Let's move Rouse boys into this section here. All right. Can you... No, you can't. Let's do bolster. I should have been using bolster before to get the boys into position more quickly. But in any event, Rao gets one of his squads up there on the objective. First one seized. I'm going to get my officer up here. We're going to bolster both of these boys because we can bolster. We can issue support orders to anybody adjacent to us.
The men depend on you, Captain.
Rao's got 2 more command points, so he should be able to move both of his boys. Okay. Chance of getting shot at as they move into those rocks.
Double time!
A sharp thunderous blast rocks the air. A gust of hot wind blows in your face as Private Lawson, your lead scout, collapses beneath a spray of churned earth. Okay. Below his knees, there's only red smashing of flesh. What is this, a bouncing Betty? Oh no, a German S-mine. Kid's losing blood fast. Grant hisses. He needs a doctor. We lose 3 men. Whatever, try and save him. Morrison and Patterson leave the battle. Okay. All right, so 3 men leave the, I guess, leave the squad. All right, let's move these guys into cover in the rocks. Let's see if they get shot at. Combat shock. Combat shock from what? They didn't get shot at. Okay. Get these guys up under that rocky ridge. Uh-oh. Tanks! All right. Well, no casualties at least. But they do suffer some suppression. Or are those casualties? Oh, they had already suffered casualties. All right, so we've got a Stug. Looks like a German Stug up this way. Stug 3G. That ain't good. We have no armor. But we're at least in cover. The enemy's still at fairly long range. Okay. Really can't do anything else here. Better just to stay in place. We've got one more squad to go. Another German order phase. We'll see if anything happens here. Okay. Doesn't look like anything. And so we've got the final platoon, Lieutenant Camera, the first platoon, in action now. All right, these guys are going to move up on the left. Okay. A cry goes up. Something rustles in the bushes ahead. Your men take aim. This area should be clear of the enemy, but it isn't. A figure staggers out of the morning fog. Your gut clenches as you recognize the distinctive outline of a German uniform, but this uniform is battered and burned, and the soldier's submachine gun dangles limp from a shoulder strap. Okay. So he's like out of it? I guess take him prisoner. Okay. Okay. So that guy just surrendered. I guess he just broke down in the middle of the fight and surrendered. In any event, at least we didn't have a repeat of Wilson getting himself, killed. Bolster. All right. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Well, I had hoped to be able to use camera or my officer to bolster him, but in any event. Okay. So I think that just about does it for this turn. Hopefully we get those bazookas next turn and they're not late. We can put them into position on the ridge to deal with the enemy here. I don't have any other movement points, so end the first turn. A sopping wet runner from battalion arrives. Hey, Henkes wants us to take the hill. He's very insistent. Okay. Well, we've got 3 enemy Stugs. 1, 2, oh my god, 6. No, wait, 3 there. At least 2 there, maybe more. 5 enemy Stugs. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Just sit here and get pulverized? All right, boys, crawl into position. That way the enemy won't shoot at you, at least. Creep into position there. Again, the enemy shouldn't react fire on you. Nickel Company arrives at its objective atop Mount Majulo just as the sun crests the horizon. You don't have time to savor the sight of the sunrise. There's plenty to do. The Germans are hidden in the valley ahead of you. Might launch a counterattack. You send your runner JJ off to coordinate with Fox Company. Okay. I mean, I know where the Germans are. Just as you begin to give out for that's a tiger. We saw Stugs. Okay. They're coming right for us. Okay. All right. I will rally the men. You send your platoon leaders off to their units, and you send JJ off to use Fox Company's radio to call in artillery support. With a deep breath, you pull yourself out of the trenches. A shell screams by as you clamber over the lip. Okay. The men closest to you stare wide-eyed as you stand upright atop Mount Majulo's peak. Time these krauts learn to fear us. You move from squad to squad, calling out the men by name. They brace for the fight to come. Then there's a thunderous crash, and you feel yourself thrown sideways like a sheet of newspaper in a tornado. Lightly wounded, combat fatigue plus 20. Okay, I can deal with that. I've been lightly wounded several times already, haven't I? I don't know that I can do anything against these enemy tanks, though. Did the bazookas arrive? They did. Okay. Alright, Captain's gonna run back. I just have the captain selected, right? No, I don't. Just me. Come on, bolster those bazookas. You gotta get them forward more quickly.
It's a hard fight, but we've seen worse.
All right, let's press them. God damn it, I thought I hit press, not move.
Ready?
Press and bolster, I guess. Try and get them as far forward as possible. All right, these guys are going to head toward the left flank. I think there's more immediate risk of the tanks. Okay. Can these guys, like, take cover? Oh, alright. First platoon has done its duty. 7 suppression. No casualties, at least, to those troops who are in the open who got hit. I don't see tigers, though, at least. They're Jack Panthers. Those are damageable. Alright. Unfortunately, Stern's boys are not the most conveniently located. Can I not move there? I was going to move in and bolster them. Alright. You're going to get at least one bazooka crew over to the right flank. Alright. Alright, Stern's boys are done. Alright, Rao keeps his boys undaunted, so that attack shouldn't have done much, if any, damage. No casualties there either. Another undaunted. Alright, rally those boys. Creep forward off the highest elevation here. Maybe there's a little bit of cover down there.
Go, go, go.
Maybe you'll be less likely to be seen on this just below the peak of the ridge. Those guys getting hit again. They're in the open. That's the squad I'm the most worried about. Their morale's probably shot. Apparently these guys are still visible down here. They creeped into position. Now they just got hit. So a lot of morale hits so far for these boys, but they haven't been routed yet. Dearborn's boys still haven't taken the objective. Okay. Dearborn's gonna have to get over here and rally these boys. Please don't get shot at. Ow. Hit but undaunted. Alright. Well, in that case, actually, it looks like his move may have raised his troops' morale. Can I... Alright, rallying will kill their ability to move this turn, so they'll still continue to take fire. But maybe I can press them and get them down the ridge. I just want to get them into some cover, and right now they're just in the open. So hopefully by moving down here, they'll still get shot at, but maybe less so. These guys, I also didn't even take the objective. I spent all my movement points moving these guys, and so we still have the third objective, which hasn't been taken yet. We're right there, though. Maybe I can move the MG up there. Well, no, Stern's already moved. Alright. Okay. If they're just going to stand off at range and pepper us with gunfire, that's probably survivable, although 6 turns is a lot to take. I'm going to guess they gave us the bazookas because they will close at some point. Yeah, I was really thinking about it, though. What's that wheel turning mean? Does that mean that unit's thinking, or is that like some indicator about the unit's ability to move? Okay, that was weird. That was like a long loading time. Another timely runner arrives from battalion. We've already got here. First Sergeant Grant notes after he reads the message. Take and hold the crest. Guess we can forget the first part and do the second. Hold until relieved. Okay. Okay, we're still trying to take that third and final objective. Crawl those boys into position. Final objective point is ours. Okay, creep into position. Bolster these boys. Oops, wrong thing. Well, I shouldn't have done that. Now he's got... Well, actually, no. I bolstered him, and now I can use my captain's points to move him. All right, I'll move him over here. And into a little bit better cover. Oh, shit. Here's the German infantry coming up. Where's our goddamn artillery, huh? Alright, these guys are in position. They can't hit the infantry yet. They're out of range. Okay, so that'll do it for Dearborn Squad. Final objective is ours. Maybe that's why the turn took a little while. The infantry was coming on the field. Enemy tanks continue to pound our position here, suppressing our boys. Causing them to lose morale and hope. And action points. So presumably they're going to suppress me while the infantry moves up the ridges and attacks me. If I had taken the objective to get the mortars, then I could be pounding this infantry as they approached. Of course, the counterpoint to that is... Okay, there we go. Nice. Hit those enemies as they move through the open from above. I think the platoon on the left hasn't really been softened up by the enemy guns yet. Oh, they just got shot at now.
I got them.
Gonna shoot at those guys as they move through the open. Exposed from above. Enemy's almost into that wood line. That's gonna be a problem. Once they get there, they'll be in cover. And with the enemy tanks, they'll be suppressing us so that we won't be in a position to resist the assaults. Can't even shoot these guys from here. They're past.
Watch your fire.
Let's move.
Those guys can shoot. Okay. These guys are already suppressed, it looks like.
Hit the dirt.
Even chance that we have the initiative, and we don't. How are they from above? Anyway, we took some suppression. Shooting at the enemy there. Get our bazooka into position. Please don't shoot at me. There we go. Okay. I may need to move my guy up to support on the left flank. Alright, that's gonna end the first platoon's round. Oh shit, they attacked. They're already in the wood line? Well, they surprised us there. I need fucking artillery. I'm in some real trouble. I think we're gonna get assaulted next turn. These MGs can't hit any of these guys from here. Okay. Bolster. Okay, our bazookas are starting to move up. I'm gonna move my officer forward here. Can I bolster myself and give me more range? Can. Alright, we're gonna try moving around where we know there'll be a reaction fire. And do I have enough points left to rally anybody? No. I could press him, make him shoot again.
We're not done today.
Oh, but now they can't shoot because that turn's already moved. I'm so dumb sometimes. But they might get a reaction fire or something, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Right, German officer moving forward here and bolstering. They're engaging our boys. Our boys are shooting back at least. Be interesting to see if the enemy just charges outright, because I could right well get killed here if we get overrun on the left flank. I need, like, naval gunfire support or something. Okay. I think Rao's the only platoon left that hasn't done anything. Alright, he can't.
We will finish this!
Gotta take a risk of getting Rao shot at. Ow. 6 suppression, will he move through it? He does. Also, did he get like an auto bolster there? Enemy react fired onto him. Yeah, his squad's in rough shape. No more movement points for him. So the center's in rough shape, but it looks like the enemy's strength is really focused on the left at the moment. Hopefully there's an event here as we move into turn 4, as the enemy begins to close on the right flank as well. The left flank is where this turn there could be assaults against those troops and those officers. The right flank, the enemy is moving forward, but because the line is bent a bit away from them, it's not as immediate of a concern. But I'm also on the left flank, so I may get myself murdered here this turn, as we've got like 4 squads in position to deal with like 5 or 6 enemy squads, plus tanks, plus we're all suppressed. We did a little bit of damage to 1 or 2 of those squads as they moved through the open, but not anywhere near what you would hope with that kind of firing line.
Keep moving.
There's a lot of fucking infantry here. Where is our artillery? 5 turns? I can't hold for 5 turns. All right, at least Lieutenant Butcher is where he is. Try and rally the squads on the flank there.
Men are waiting.
Okay. Press them so they can fight, maybe.
Let's hit them again!
On your right. Take cover.
Okay.
Hit him hard.
Alright, so good chance of successful shooting now. Now that they've been rallied. I don't know if we should try and bolster them too. Let's maybe wait. I don't know, I mean, they've got good chances of success on the attack here. We took 2 casualties? Those are our first combat casualties, excluding, like, guys who were unfortunate enough to step on a damn mine. Okay. Rather shoot the guys who are... Come on, it said we should have had a really good chance of...
Take them apart.
Oh, nice. We knocked out the enemy leader there.
Keep firing. Hit the dirt.
Okay.
Stay online. Stay
Trying to do what I can to lessen their fitness for an assault. Apparently the unit right in front of us is in great shape, though. Okay. Enemy tanks are going to hit Rao in the center. Like, it's not good that they keep focusing on those center platoons, but honestly, that is the least, at least for this turn, the least immediately. Maybe the far right flank is less concerned, but it's not my primary worry at the moment. I need to get my MGs in action here. Because we're going to get shot at here. No casualties, though. So that's an okay result.
Hit the dirt.
Okay.
Keep your heads down. On your left. On your left.
Where is a better line of sight? Man, I'm just got to get all the way up there to get the enemy in their line of sight. Okay. That does it for Stern. Rao getting hit again. He's going to have no action points left from all the suppression. Just going to make his platoon basically immobile. I'll probably need to move my captain over there to try and help. Because, yeah, he can't move. Dearborn can at least.
Hit him hard.
Okay. Can you rally someone not in your company? Or platoon? Anyway, I think that does it for turn 4. I think we were on to turn 5 now. This will be... Well, we're going to be on to turn 5. This will be a pretty significant turn for us to see what's going to happen. Are the Germans on the left flank going to overrun us, or what are they going to do? It looks like they're rallying one of the squads whose morale was a little bit lower. They'll get closer to the center, but won't breach the line yet. Surprisingly, the tanks haven't really moved yet. We're starting to see an assault force for the right flank to appear. I'm just holding out hope that headquarters is going to send us some stuff. I don't know. Like, they almost have to, right? Unless this is really a Kobayashi Maru scenario and you're just expected to either die or surrender or withdraw. It's certainly possible, I suppose. Why do I have to keep hitting end turn? I have no officers that can do anything at the moment. Okay. Enemy moving through that open ground in the middle. We've got one of Rao's squads, which is in decent shape. Oh, they're shooting against the other guys. Okay. Okay. I'm ending rounds. I don't understand why there are rounds. Like, I'm ending the German rounds almost, because I have nothing I can do. Another German squad shows up just a hex away. Flanking the boys we moved up to support on the right. Heavily suppressing, inflicting casualties on them now. They are flanked. Okay. Maybe the enemy will get lured away from the objective and assault these guys. I don't know. Alright. I don't know why I have to keep hitting the end turn button. There's no moves for me. Alright. 4 turns left. Give me a frickin' event that gives me artillery or something. Why did I do that with the bazooka? Also, what's the point of the bazookas if the enemy armor is just going to stay back? Okay.
You heard the captain. Get going.
You move here. You don't. The thing about the captain is he doesn't actually have to move all the way.
Keep your heads down.
Don't give them an inch.
So we can rally these boys down here.
Keep it up. Right, on your right. Don't give them an inch.
Can we just directly assault these guys? I mean, they're not suppressed, so it's probably stupid, right? But it would be interesting. Knock out their lead squad through assault.
On your right.
Look, I'm sure it's foolish, but
Get the BAR up here. Move up.
That's the way.
took a casualty in that engagement.
Keep your heads in the dirt. Keep your heads down.
Charge!
Pick it up.
Uh-oh. 10 suppression.
On your left. On your left.
Well, their attack failed, but it at least drew the enemy's attention.
Stay down.
Okay. Camera, you're gonna move to that squad that just got its shit kicked in
On your right. On your right.
and rally the boys
German's coming.
as best you can. That lead squad may well act as sort of a lightning rod for those 2 German squads that are already on our front. The only problem is my officer for that platoon is also there. So, Lieutenant Rao's out of action. I don't know if he was killed or just wounded, but he got hit. Which honestly might be a good thing because he was so heavily suppressed he couldn't do anything, so maybe his replacement will have a few more action points before the tanks totally clobber us. Well, they're just shooting at nothing there? Oh, there's something there. It's an MG. Okay. Enemy attacked our boys here. We had the advantage of high ground. We inflicted some casualties on them. Squads back, further back, are going to probably try and suppress that lead squad where our lieutenant is. So good chance that they get overrun. But listen, all the time we buy, you know, anything we do that buys time is good, right? Because the ultimate objective is to hold this spot for 2 or 3 more turns. Anything we can do to gum up the works. Alright. Right, get into position here, I think. You're gonna get shot at? Oh god. Yep, 5 suppression. Heavy weapons doing their job this turn. At least in terms of getting shot at. The bazookas feel kind of meaningless because the enemy armor's not coming yet. Okay. And we got Dearborn's boys. We're the best put together squad at the moment.
Keep your heads down. Don't give them an inch. Reloading.
Okay. Alright. On that turn. Hopefully the enemy did most of their attacks already. I have nothing left to do. Turns left 3.
You know what comes next.
Okay.
The men are waiting. Listen up.
Captain's spending all his points bolstering boys.
Keep firing. Keep your heads down.
Right, press the boys in front now. Okay. Maybe you can get some successful suppression on them.
Stay down.
Okay. Alright. These guys are rough shape. Even chance of success if we try and overrun these boys to our front. At least it failed in the easy way. They didn't even bother to try and assault. So far left flank squads are in a bit better shape now. Although the enemy's going to shoot at them now and probably suppress them again and set the stage up for another assault. Or not another assault, because there hasn't been one yet, but set the stage for an assault. I mean, they've got like 4 squads that can shoot at one of ours 2 or 3 times each. They definitely do seem to be focusing just on that lead squad. The only bad thing is that's where our platoon commander is. I'm 1 hex back on the top of the ridge. Okay. Alright, they're moving toward Rao. Somehow... Well, Stern is there. I was going to say someone's shooting at the Germans as they move across the open there. Wonder if that's the MG I just moved. Yep. Okay. Using MGs as God intended. That'll end it for Stern's round. I can't believe there's been no update of like... Maybe the enemy tanks are holding back because they've seen our bazookas. I don't know. Dearborn squad has nothing to do, so we'll let them pass. Should be turn 7 now, after the enemy moves. Okay.
Auf geht's, ihr Frontschweine!
Other casualties inflicted there. I wonder why I didn't have to click through a whole bunch of times last turn, but this turn I do. Anyway, 2 turns left. Can we hold? Bolster to improve the odds of the attack.
We'll put the fear into them.
Shoot the second line in order here to try and suppress both the first and second line here in the center assault. Okay.
Hit him hard. Don't give him an inch.
Yeah, I'm good with you.
Keep it up. Take cover.
All right, stern's done. I didn't really do much with his other units there.
Es ist ein Backofen hier. Das ist ein Heimatschutz.
Enemies moving up on the right flank. And Lieutenant Camera in his first action falls. Thankfully, Captain Butcher is here.
Leave the wounded for the medics. We're gonna pound them flat.
We saw the enemy was coming for the left flank and we went there. Unfortunately, I can't move any of these units. They're already donezo. Okay. Do we ever get a replacement officer on that flank? Kind of. Well, rally one squad at least. I don't want to jinx how many men we've lost so far, so we'll keep quiet about that. But we are getting toward the end. The enemy armor has shown no aggression. They are just sitting back and pounding us at distance. Now we have taken some officer casualties. Rao and Camera both are at least wounded, maybe worse. We don't know. Some of our units have taken a modest amount of casualties so far, but it's been largely shooting across, you know, moderate distances with heavily dug in and entrenched units. Now we do have the one squad which is sort of in advance of the far left flank objective, which I think is vulnerable to an assault. We'll see if the enemy pushes it. They're certainly content to blast these guys into nothingness with waves and waves of gunfire. Can't rally, so I might as well bolster, I guess, just to maybe give them temporary morale improvements.
Get going. Come on.
Okay.
Go, Cottonbalers.
We're near the end of this fight, I think. We're going to keep focusing on that one sort of salient in this triangle defense with 3 squads stacked along each other in a triangle formation. Okay. Can we end the turn? It's weird that we got to do this like this, because I feel like the enemy squads have already done some movements this turn, so I don't know why I have to keep clicking through them. I mean, he's really trying to flank on the right, but I don't think they're even going to have time to get up to the objective through this rough terrain, even if they were to dislodge Dearborn's men. Okay. All right, one turn left. All right, here we go, boys. Last turn. Captain Butcher, can you rally the troops to your front?
Keep your heads down.
Should require the enemy to expend a fair number of points going for them. Then bolster them.
Come on.
And bolster those guys.
Captain needs everyone now.
And these guys.
You know what
Okay,
comes next.
so we've rallied and we've bolstered. Germans on this flank. Oh, that's right. Do we need to press? Can we press these guys? We can.
Just another road, another town.
Okay. Nice. These guys are heavily suppressed. Can we... Well, a fairly poor chance of a... assault going through there. But they can maybe hit these guys a little bit more. Maybe it makes the likelihood of a successful assault go better next time. Okay. No, I don't have any points left to spend on an assault. Anyway, an assault is probably foolhardy. First squad points used up. First platoon. I always mix that up. I always in these episodes, I always call a squad a platoon and whatnot. Enemy tanks stayed back. I guess maybe they saw the bazookas and didn't really want anything with moving forward on that. Took another casualty here in a firefight between these two squads. The enemy also took some losses. Curious to see if we'll see any assaults now. Left squad is broken, so probably not from them, but the squad directly in front of us isn't. They're going to have to spend some points here, which they are doing right now, suppressing us. And here comes the assault. Fuck. Well, they managed to succeed in overrunning that lead platoon, which had already lost its lieutenant. Or sorry, the lead squad. Now our captain is directly on the front line.
On your right, on your
Enemy as an officer participating in that assault too. MG here will do some suppression, hopefully, to some of these bad guys out in the open. I think they're too far off to assault. Okay.
Keep moving.
Press him, give him another
Get
shot.
together, you menches.
Keep it up.
MG's doing their work, boys.
On your left. On your left.
Alright, nothing else to do with Stern's heavy weapons. It's interesting that the bazookas under Stern's kind of like show up when they're needed, but they're not really part of his unit perpetually. Alright, so the only guy left over here, acting lieutenant, go ahead and rally your boys. No more points for you to do anything, so your squad's done, or your platoon's done. I think we just have Dearborn left.
Take cover.
Reloading! We're taking fire!
And he can't shoot at anyone, so Dearborn's boys have been largely untouched in this fight. They got a little bit of suppression, but that's it. The battle's over. Okay. Major victory. The very light casualties, less than 10%, and we didn't really repulse the counterattack, but we at least held long enough. I'm assuming that reinforcements came up. Looks like Camera was wounded, but he'll be returning. Fortunate for him, because that platoon got overrun, but third squad, first platoon, so fortunately it wasn't the first squad, first platoon. And then a serious wound for Lieutenant Rao. Says he's returning, though. You'd think a serious wound for both of them would take some time, but maybe not. All right. So we'll go ahead and save at this point, and that's going to do it for this episode. We'll continue the narrative to see what, our boys think about that fight in the next episode. But until then, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'm out.